Yet beneath them, her nervous system remembers every wound. You might notice it when she flinches at unexpected affection, or when she seems distant just when things get too close. You might see it in how she can read a room instantly, scanning for danger, anticipating emotional shifts before they happen. Her sensitivity is not intuition alone, it's vigilance, refined by years of surviving uncertainty. And yet, her darkness is also what gives her depth. Her pain has made her perceptive, self-aware, empathic. She can sit with your silence because she has faced her own. But loving such a woman requires discernment. The Stoics taught that wisdom begins in observation, seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. If you want to understand her, you must learn to observe without judgment, to sense the hidden language of her behavior. Not to fix, but to see. What follows are 10 signs, not of weakness, not of doom, but of history. Each is a window into how the past shapes the present, how survival leaves fingerprints on the soul. Sign 1, her eyes tell stories she'll never speak. Her eyes are her biography. They hold what words have learned to conceal. There's a quiet depth to them, a stillness that feels older than her age. Sometimes they seem tired, even when she's smiling. Sometimes they flash with intensity at moments, as if an old memory just stirred beneath the surface. She doesn't need to tell you about her past, her eyes already have. The human gaze is more than sight, it's energy exchange. Psychologists say the eyes reveal affect regulation, how a person manages emotional states. When someone has endured years of instability or fear, their eyes often carry two energies at once, alertness and fatigue. They are always watching yet longing for rest. You'll notice it when she enters a crowded space. Her eyes sweep the environment before she relaxes. She might position herself near an exit, subconsciously ensuring safety. This isn't paranoia, it's conditioning. Her nervous system was trained to expect the unexpected. And yet those same eyes can soften in an instant. When she feels safe, they become luminous, pure, alive, magnetic. It's as if a light hidden behind a curtain suddenly glows. That contrast, between vigilance and vulnerability, is the telltale signature of someone who has lived through darkness. Jung would say her eyes reveal the integration battle between her shadow and her conscious self. The shadow still remembers pain, the conscious self strives for peace. In moments of connection, the two meet, and the result is that haunting kind of beauty that both attracts and unsettles. Sign 2, she distrusts love, even when she craves it. She wants to love. She truly does. But love terrifies her, not because she doubts its existence, but because she knows its cost. To someone who has walked through darkness, love is no longer an innocent word. It's a battlefield of memory. She remembers what love felt like when it was unsafe, when affection came with control, when promises came with pain, when "I love you" was followed by abandonment. So, even when her heart longs for connection, her mind whispers caution. You'll see it in subtle ways. She may hesitate before returning a compliment. She may deflect your affection with humor. She appears strong, independent, even emotionally distant, not because she feels nothing, but because feeling too much once broke her. In her world, love equals exposure. And exposure once meant danger. The paradox of love and fear. There is a strange paradox in those who have been deeply hurt. They crave what they fear most. They want love, yet they cannot fully trust it. They desire closeness, yet they pull away when it's offered. It's not inconsistency, it's protection. Her nervous system has learned that safety requires control, and love requires surrender. Those two realities cannot coexist. Jung would say she is torn between eros, the longing for union, and thanatos, the fear of dissolution. To love is to dissolve the ego, to risk merging, trusting, being seen. For someone who has been wounded, that's not romance, it's terror. Her shadow tells her that surrender is vulnerability, and vulnerability leads to pain. So she loves carefully, conditionally, as if standing near a fire she cannot step too close to. The Stoic view, trust is the hardest virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." For her, love has been dyed by fear. Even when she meets a good man, her mind still interprets tenderness through the lens of old pain. She doesn't see you, not fully, she sees the echoes of what once was. To the Stoic, trust is not blind faith, it's earned calmness. She cannot choose to trust until her perception of safety is rebuilt. And that takes time, not words, not promises, but consistency. The Stoics would remind us that patience is an act of love. It is the refusal to rush what the soul has not yet healed. If you ever love such a woman, understand this: her hesitation is not rejection. Her testing is not manipulation. It's the only way she knows to measure if she can rest in your presence without fear of collapse. The hidden test. She will test you, not overtly, but emotionally. She might retreat just when things become intimate. She might provoke mild distance to see if you will chase, criticize, or remain steady. It's not a game. It's a subconscious reenactment of her old wounds, a way of asking, will you still be here when I'm not easy to love? Many men fail this test because they respond with frustration or ego. But the test is sacred, if you see it rightly. It is her soul's way of confirming whether safety can coexist with affection, something she has never fully known. The Stoics taught the importance of constancy, the ability to remain unmoved by external fluctuations. If you embody calm when she wavers, she begins to rewire her sense of trust. Slowly, her fear of love begins to dissolve. The inner war. The dark past leaves her with two opposing voices. One says, don't get close. People hurt you. The other whispers, please don't leave. I'm tired of being alone. This war is invisible to the world but exhausting to her spirit. She doesn't want to sabotage love, she simply doesn't know how to receive it without expecting pain. It's not you she distrusts, it's her own memory. Every tender gesture is filtered through the question, is this safe? Or is this how it starts again? And so she oscillates, warm one moment, distant the next. Not because she is cold, but because her body remembers what her mind tries to forget. The healing path. The answer is not to fix her. The answer is to see her, fully, quietly, without agenda. Jung taught that healing begins in integration, the acceptance of both light and shadow. When a woman with a dark past begins to feel accepted in her entirety, without needing to hide her defenses, something profound happens, her heart relaxes. She starts to trust that love can exist without domination, that affection can coexist with freedom. And in that trust, her real self begins to emerge, tender, creative, unguarded. But until that happens, remember. Her distrust is not defiance. It is the residue of survival. Love her gently. But love her wisely. Even the most wounded soul will soften in the presence of truth. Sign 3, her emotions swing between warmth and withdrawal. There is a rhythm to her soul that few understand. One moment, she is present, eyes bright, voice alive, laughter spilling from her like sunlight after rain. The next, she fades. Her gaze drifts elsewhere, her voice softens, and you can feel her energy retracting into a place you cannot follow. You will wonder, what changed? The truth is, nothing changed. She simply touched something inside herself that you cannot see. This is one of the clearest signs of a dark past, emotional oscillation between closeness and distance. To the untrained heart, it looks like inconsistency. But in truth, it's the body's ancient dance between safety and protection. When a woman has lived through betrayal, chaos, approach, retreat, warmth, withdrawal, it is not a performance. It's a survival pattern that once kept her alive. The push-pull of survival. Imagine growing up in an environment where love and pain were indistinguishable, where affection was followed by punishment, where vulnerability invited ridicule. The nervous system learns a cruel equation: closeness equals danger. As an adult, even when she meets genuine kindness, her body reacts as if it's a trap. So she instinctively pulls back, not because she doesn't care, because she cares too much. Her withdrawal is not absence, it's self-preservation. You might see it after a moment of deep connection, a vulnerable conversation, an intimate night, a shared silence that feels sacred. Then suddenly, she grows distant. Her tone changes, her eyes drift away. It's as if she's afraid of what just happened. In that instant, rejecting you. She is regulating her fear of being hurt again. The shadow archetype, the wounded anima. Jung spoke of the anima, the inner feminine archetype that carries emotion, intuition, and connection to the soul. When the anima is wounded, her flow becomes unpredictable. Love becomes both nourishment and poison. A woman with a dark past often carries the wounded anima energy. She feels everything deeply, sometimes too deeply. To protect herself, she builds barriers around her sensitivity. But the same walls that keep pain out also keep love out. Thus begins the inner conflict. She longs for intimacy, yet her psyche fears it. Her warmth, when she offers it, is genuine, but fragile. Her withdrawal, when it comes, is not punishment, it's reflex. And in this pattern lies the essence of her shadow, the part of her that still associates love with loss. The Stoic mirror, stillness amid the storm. Epictetus once wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." To love a woman with a dark past, you must embody this principle. Her emotional tides are not to be controlled, corrected, or chased. They are to be witnessed with calm detachment. If you panic when she retreats, she feels unsafe. If you demand her openness, she shuts down further. But if you remain grounded, still, warm, patient, she begins to sense something unfamiliar, stability. And slowly, her nervous system starts to trust your energy. This is how the Stoic man heals without trying to heal, by being what is missing, not fixing what is broken. You cannot teach her peace. You must become peace. The hidden language of her emotions. Her emotions will tell you more than her words. Pay attention to the subtle transitions. When her laughter fades too quickly, it's not disinterest, it's memory. When she falls silent after joy, she's checking if happiness is safe. When she withdraws after intimacy, it's her inner child testing whether love can coexist with safety. She is constantly calibrating. How much can I give before I disappear? How close can I get before I get hurt? You will not win this battle by reassurance alone. Words mean little to someone whose past was full of broken promises. What she trusts is consistency. The steady tone in your voice. The calm in your presence. The way you stay the same whether she's near or distant. Swings are not manipulation, they are echoes. Echoes of a life where emotions had to be controlled to survive. You must listen, not to the noise, but to what it means. Why her warmth feels so intense. Her warmth, when it appears, feels different from ordinary affection. It's not casual or fleeting. It's sacred, as if she's giving you. Will haunt you, because it's so rare and beautiful. But understand this. It's not a reversal. It's her catching its breath. The philosophy of allowing. The Stoics taught the art of allowing, to accept reality without resistance.